Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining our program today, the Yoga with the Chair. My name is Rasoul, and I appreciate you that you join. I hope all is well with you and the family in this challenging time. So this class is designed for the people that they have difficulty to stay on the mat, and you have less mobile body. So that's what the chair is all about. You're going to do some chair yoga on the floor too, but not many of them. Mainly it's going to be sitting and stretching using the chair today. So let's start with the meditation. If you're sitting on any chair, I prefer that you have a folding chair, and you can always purchase those chairs from the stores like Target and Walmart and other places. They are not expensive, but they are very helpful for you to practice your yoga chair. So let's start with the meditation. When you're sitting in a chair, sit comfortable wherever is comfortable. You can cross your legs so your knees are a little bit lower than your hips, so they are not higher than your hips. And you can also cross your feet or legs. Relax your hands on top of your legs, palms down, or you can turn the palms upward with your thumbs touching your index fingers. As you raise the sternum, eyes closed, and relax your facial muscles, and relax your jaws, relax your lips, relax your throat, relax your chest, relax your long lower upper abdomen. And whenever I say relax, that means you're just bringing attention to that relaxation toward that area. As you're breathing in and breathing out, notice the length of the breath, the quality of the breath, the sensation of the breath without judging. You're simply allowing the breath take over the mind. So your thoughts are in the back of your breath, and your breath is leading at front of your thoughts. And it's okay to have thoughts. They are like ocean waves that you just watch as they come to the shore and they go back to the ocean. Notice the inhalation is cooling, enters the body. Exhalation, the breath is warm, leaving the body. Very good. Now, relax your hands on top of your legs. We're going to warm up the neck and shoulders. So bring your shoulders up to the ears, roll it toward the back. Repeat it a few times. And opposite direction. Keep your shoulders relaxed and roll your head and face. And other side. Keep your head down side to side. Up and down. Now keep your arms upward toward the sky, fully stretched. And the other way, you can either keep your hands together with the index toward the ceiling so there's more stretch, or keep your arms extended, separated, fully engaged toward the fingertips. And make sure the top of your shoulders stays down. And let's take a few deep, even breaths. You may close the eyes, so you're focusing on the breath. Very good. Now, above your head, interlace the fingers, turn the palms upward, to stretching your inner arms. So the eyes of the elbows hugging in. And try to turn your thumbs a little bit upward toward the ceiling more. And take a few breaths. Very good. Now, see if you can grab the top of your elbows with your hands and keep your head straight so the head is not tilted forward. Other variation, you can keep your hands toward the back of your chest so your palms touching the shoulder blades, cross or straight. And now lift the chin away from the chest. Take a few deep, long breaths. This opens up the armpit, and stretching your armpits, your rib cage on the front, part of the shoulders as well. Very good. Now release that. We're gonna turn to the right side with your left hand outside the knee. And you can grab any part of your chair behind you, doing this, call it the twist. So look and raise the chest. And now stay where you are with your body and turn your head to the opposite side. This twist and turn is very good for the spinal cord rejuvenation. Also great for upper and lower back body. And release that. Take a deep breath. Let's turn around, switch to the other side for the twist. And as you turn to the left, raise the chest. Look toward the shoulder on the back, or look where your face is. And now go ahead, turn your head to the opposite side, lift the chest more. And release. Now we're going to move a little bit forward to the edges of the mat so it's a little bit more comfortable to reach forward. You're going to have the left knee bend like I show you like this, or however is comfortable for you. Keep your right leg forward and bring your body forward as much as you can. There's a gentle stretch to your hamstring. If your hamstring is very tight, bend your knee. Also, you can go forward more if you are able to do so. Relax your head. Take a few breaths. And slowly back it up. We always take a breath to quiet the mind more. So they take inhalation, exhalation. And we're going to switch to the other side. Other leg, left leg forward. If you need to, move forward a little bit more with the sit bones. Reach forward toward your leg, toward your foot, toward whatever body gives you. And relax your head, neck. Good. Back it up to the seated position. Let's take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now, let's do both legs. Reach forward as much as you can. And grab any part of your leg. Ankles, heels, toes, or balls of your feet. You're going to stretch both hamstrings, quadriceps as well. And back it up to the seated position. Take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now, we're going to go ahead and stand up and move your chair on top of your mat. And if you have a block, don't worry about it. If you don't have a block, that's okay. But if you have a block, like this way, keep it between your inner thighs. This, what it does, it engaging your inner thighs adductors and give your mind something to do, because mind is always going somewhere else and past and future. So when we are involving our blocks, suddenly the mind comes toward what we're doing, like holding a block and spreading our fingers or toes spreading and extending. So the mind comes a few points only. That's when you are healing, sending energy to those areas that they need to be healed or stretched. So if you can hold on the blocks inside the inner thighs, above your kneecaps. If you have a wider hips, keep your block this way between your inner thighs. So we call it mid part of the blocks, you can hold it. So mine is a little narrower with the hips, holding out the block this way. I'm gonna bring my hands on top of the top of a chair, step back. This is almost, we're doing the forward bend. And when we're doing the forward bend, we wanna have the arms forwarding. Press every fingers to the top of a chair if you can. Press every fingers down. And make sure your feet are parallel to each other, big toes especially. And move your sit bones back as much as you can. So there's an extension to your back, your spinal cord, and each vertebrae. Now, for those of you who have a tight hamstrings, you may bend your legs a little bit. So your hamstring is not taking too much of a toll. So you're straightening your back as much as you can, either straight legs or bend knees. But don't have a rounded back with your legs bent. You have to keep more working your spinal cord. So there's a fluid energy moving through the spinal cord, which is our nervous system. So keep breathing to the pose. If you can, keep your ears between the biceps and breathe to the pose. I usually hold the poses a little longer than usual. Good. Now after this we're gonna come up and grab your chair and moving it this way at front of you. And you go ahead, keep your block to the side for now. And we're going to do the wide-legged pose. Spread the legs as much as you can. So your big toes are parallel to each other, inner heels parallel to each other. You can stay with your hands to the top of a chair like I show you. If you can go lower, you can keep your elbows down. This is a little bit more intense, so it's up to you. You can also have the hands together as a prayer, namaste hands. That way you can be more focused on the energy that's moving toward the body parts. And if you want to work the pose more, as you're pressing your feet to the mat equally, lift the kneecaps strongly so you can feel the quadriceps. Very good. Now, bring your feet together slowly, heels and toes, toes and heels. And then let's go back with the chair on top of your mat. Use your block inside the inner thighs like we did before if you want, or just simply go to the pose without using your blocks like I show you. Sit bones lifted toward the ceiling, or top of your buttocks toward the heels. Sit bones back away from your arms. Lengthen the spine and keep breathing. And again, if you want to work the pose more, lift the kneecaps to engage your quads, hamstrings more. So this is between forward bend and almost down dog. Like a down dog on the chair. Good. Now, the next pose we're going to do is for the lower back. So you're going to keep your, I'm going to adjust my shirt. So you're going to have the hands to the side of the chair so your knuckles are facing to the right and left. This is called the snake pose. You're going to bring your pelvis toward the chair as much as you can. And keep your heels a little bit toward the ceiling, lift the chest, and stay for a few breaths. Very good. Let's go back to that pose again, the down dog or forward bend for a few breaths. Now, I want you to move your left hand toward the center of your chair. Grab your left ankle with your right hand, turn your head to the bicep. And kind of move your buttock back away from your hands or hand. This is a twist. Good. Let's take a breath while you're going to the down dog or forward bend. Now move your right hand to the center of your chair. Grab your right ankle with your left hand and turn your head to the right side. Move your buttock back as much as you can. Very good. Now after you've done that, let's go back to the snake pose again. Keep your pelvis or upward dog, also we call this upward dog. Keep your shoulders down. Sorry about my shirt's tucked in. And go ahead, walk your feet toward the top of a chair. And now, if you have the top of a chair right like that, keep your elbows top of a chair, fingers, keep your buttocks back. And remind yourself that if you have a tight hamstring, you can always bend your knees, but maintaining your straight back. Maintain your long spine. These poses that I show you is especially great for back issues and shoulder issue, neck issues. Also, you're working your leg entirely, so excellent poses you're learning. Very good. Now, go ahead, slowly stand up. You can always even stay longer when you learn all these poses. You can stay longer to the poses as much as you can. Now, the next pose, we're gonna work the called the pigeon pose on the chair, which is we're gonna work the sciatic nerve, which is going from the lower back, is the biggest nerve into the body. Goes from the lower back to the side to the IT band area. So this is an excellent pose. We don't have many poses like that in yoga, but this pose can be on the floor, on the chair as well, especially if you have a lower back issue. You're gonna step with your left knee toward the top of a chair. Keep it 45 degrees or less or more. Back foot stays like I show you that way, so it's easier on your leg. You can grab the top of the chair like that and lift to the chest. You can press away from your chair. Soft looking toward the horizon. And I would usually hold on the pose for about 10 breaths, but I keep it a little shorter of the yoga video on, because I have to teach you a little bit more poses. Very good. Let's go back to that down dog for a couple breaths only. So you're going to do the other side. Pigeon on the chair. And let's go ahead with your opposite leg, knee to the chair, top of the chair. 45 degrees or less or more is up to your hips or your buttocks. And again, you're gonna push and press away from the top of a chair, lift the chest. And keep your back leg engaged, so the back leg is not bendy. And let's go back to the down dog for a couple breaths. Very good. You're going to walk your feet toward the top of the chair. Stand up. Let's take a couple breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Repeat one more. Inhale. And exhale. And now we're going to do some, we call it the triangle revolved pose with the chair. So if you have a chair, folding chair, as I show you here, as I told you in the beginning, you can purchase this from the store. I took mine out at the back of the chair because you can do a lot of great poses with this, but you don't have to. You can always knock that part of the chair out later on yourself. Hopefully in the future time, I'll show you some of the poses into the chair. So for now, you're gonna put the chair down like this. So your four-legged of the chair are up this way. And you're gonna step with your right foot into the, I would call it the bottom of the chair here. And you can grab the leg this way as I show you here. And you're gonna step back as much as you can with your back leg. You got two parts you can work the pose this way. As I show you here, you can stay with the top body or the top of your chest lifted, back and stay straight. This is for those of you who have the tight hamstring. Otherwise, if you can go even lower, you can keep your hand onto the lower bar of the chair here. So you're noticing I'm going a little bit lower. And we're gonna practice the breathing into the pose in this situation. Or you can go even lower. This is again for some of you have more opening to the back of your leg. So let's stay here for a few breaths. Now, we're gonna twist and turn to this pose, which is called the revolved triangle. So bring your right hand to your back, face the side in here. And then keep your hand to your side of the hip, stay or raise the arm up. So revolving triangle pose. And if you can, press your big toe down into the chair or the bottom of the chair. Good, relax, take a breath. Slowly bend your knees, step back, stand up. Let's take a couple breaths. Always breathe between, so you're not rushing. Inhale, exhale, repeat one more time. Inhale, and exhale. Now we're going to do the other side. So step with your left foot into the top and bottom of the chair, which is this part of the bottom of the top chair here. And step back with your right leg behind you as much as you can. So your legs are almost in a big triangle pose or big triangle. Like we did the other side, you can have the hands, the leg of a chair here, or bring it down more, or even lower. This pose is called humble warrior or pyramid pose, or in Sanskrit is Parshvatanasana. I keep moving my shoulders back so my shoulders are not going toward my ears. And after this pose, we're going to do the revolve. So your right hand stay into the chair, hand to your back, and keep working the pose, breathing to the pose. And if you have a tight shoulder, keep your hand to your hip or raise it up. Good, good, release. And bend your knees, step back. Stand up. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Repeat one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now, let's step in with your left foot or right foot to the chair. You step back with your left foot as much as you can, bend your knee. You can keep your elbow on top of your leg. This is a little bit of stretch into your hamstring. If you're going to go deeper, you want to bring your knee right over your heel. So this is a little bit more deeper stretch. You can have the elbow on top of your leg as I show you, and turn the top chest upward, arms are stretched fully. Or you can go lower with your hand like we did the other side. This is going to be more intense. So this is a side angle pose. Good. And we're going to step back and use the leg of a chair, go into the down dog or forward fold for a few breaths. And we're gonna do the other side. So step in with your left foot. So I'm gonna show you my back. So whenever we're doing these poses, you can see my back. So this time we're gonna step back with your right foot. Left knee bend over your ankle like we did the other side. You can have the leg of a chair or elbow top of your leg, arm upward, or also you can keep your arm forward, extended. Stay and breathe. And after the breath, step back to the down dog for a few breaths. And walk your feet toward the chair, stand up. Let's take a couple breaths. Repeat. Now let's bring the chair in center like we did before, this way. And let's go back to that wide-legged pose. So spread the legs as much as you can. And keep your big toes facing each other or inner feet parallel to each other. Bring your hands top of your chair, lift the sternum chest, or you can go lower like we did before. This is called the wide-legged pose, but we're gonna do twist after a couple breaths. So take a couple deep breaths. Now you're gonna keep your left elbow to the chair, face the right side with the hand to your back, or you can raise the arm up. Always remember your shoulders are staying back away from your earlobes. Good, go ahead, take a breath. And let's repeat the other side for the wide-legged twist. You can look to the left or look toward the tips of your fingers. And go ahead, release that. Now I'm gonna bring my feet together, heels and toes, toes and heels. And go ahead, take a breath. Very good. Now, since our leg is opened up, we're gonna do kind of like a balance pose. So you keep your chair like that and stay with your right leg close to the chair. Bring your foot inside the upper inner thigh or keep it lower than the knee. And you can stay with your hand to the one top of a chair here, raise the arm upward, or keep your hand on top of your center of the chest, sternum, lift the chest. So this is especially for those of you who have a balancing issue. You can use a chair and keep holding onto the chair while you're lifting to the sternum. And soft eyes looking toward the horizon. Don't look down and don't look up either. This allows your energy moving down toward the center of the chest, sternum, lower abdomen area. Now, see if you can bring that knee up to the chest, shoulders down. And do your best to turn the toes down toward the floor on the raised leg. Good. They always balance poses, give you a stability, and it's great also for focusing as well. So let's do the other side when you're ready. It's called tree pose. You mount down your foot, big toe into the ground while you're raising the opposite leg, and press your foot into your inner thigh to your foot, and raise the sternum, hold on to the pose. Always remember, shoulders are down, not raising. Eyes are soft so the brain stays soft and mind can focus on the breath. Now, see if you can bring that knee up to the chest and point the toes down and stay taller. And just bring attention to how much I can lengthen my spine. And good, step down, take a breath. Good. Let's go ahead. Have your chair back on top. If it's available, this is only for those of you who want to go deeper to the stretch. Bring your right foot up and bring a hand closer to your chair, either the top. This is a little bit intense stretch. Your heels is down, your toes are facing the ceiling. So this is more stretch onto your hamstring. You can also lower your hand, but maintaining your straight back. Good, bend your legs, step back. And let's do a couple breaths in down dog. So you're more open now. You can go a little deeper to the pose. And let's do the other side. When you're standing up, one breath. And let's do the opposite leg. Always start with the top of the chair and decide when you are okay, then go a little lower. And go bend your legs, step back, go back to the down dog for a few. Now, if you can, bring your knees down to the floor and bring your sit bones toward the heels, arms to the top of the chair. Hug the shoulder blades toward the back of the chest. You can do that this way, or you can keep your body more forward and bring your elbows to the back of a top of a chair, palms toward the back of a chest. So this is more intermediate advance. This is a child pose. Now, as you're coming back up, we're going to do the called Ushtrasana, or the camel pose. You can grab the chair, move it inside a little bit more. Bring your either fingertips top of a chair, or you can have the palm to the top of the chair going to the back bend. And let's go back to the forward fold or down dog for 2 more breaths. And this is excellent things to do every day if you can, even 5 to 10 minutes. This stretch that I show you right now in the beginning. You can do it also on your dining table, on your bed as well. This is great for people that they have lower back issues, upper back issues, shoulder issues. These poses are excellent. Good. Go ahead, release. Now we're going to sit back on your chair, please, when you're ready. So let's work shoulders. If you can reach behind you with your left elbow facing the ceiling and fingers on the left facing the floor, the other hand stays behind you. If your fingers are reachable, and you can grab the other fingers on top, lock the fingers and stay here for a few breaths. If you can, then use either yoga strap, or you can also use towels. This is for neck and shoulders. We're gonna close the eyes in here for 5 even long breaths. Very good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And let's switch. Other side. And let's take a breath. Now, take your arms to the side, take a breath. Bring your left on the right elbow, and either bring your palms together or back of your hand, lift the elbow off your chest, and maintain the pose for a few breaths. I usually close my eyes so I can focus more on the breath while I'm doing the pose. Or if you keep your eyes open, make sure your eyes are very soft and relaxed. And let's take a breath. Switch your elbows. Again, you can have the hands, palms together, back of a hand together. Or you can hug yourself if it's not reachable. And go release that. Now, you're gonna keep your left leg forward. See if you can keep your right foot on top of your leg and bring your body just a bit forward so you can feel that work into the hip flexor and the knee. If you can reach forward more, it's up to you. I usually have the block by me Let me bring my blocks. I can go deeper in this pose with the blocks. And if I'm using my blocks, I'm keeping my blocks a little bit wider than the shoulder, so my shoulder's not rounded like that. So you're gonna forward. Otherwise, you're gonna stay up here, gently going forward. And don't just stay short time into this pose. Just stay at least maybe about 7 breaths at least, even more. Just working your hips, knees, leg as well. Good, good. Slowly sit back. Breathe. And when you're ready, let's do the other side, other leg. Always when you go into the poses, go with be mindful of it. And when you're coming off the pose also, don't rush, because injury happens when you're rushing. And I forgot to tell you that if you can, spread the toes, especially on the leg that you're stretching. And bring it up back to the seated position. And let's do one more twist. We're gonna turn to the right side. And you're gonna grab the side of the chair, outside the chair with the lifted chest, look to the back shoulder. Go ahead, release, turn around, and let's switch other side. And back to the center. Great. If you like, at the end of the class, you can always go either lay on your back on the bed, on the floor, or you can sit on your chair, closing your eyes for a couple minutes before moving on and doing your daily life, whatever that is. So we're going to finish the program and the class today. You may bring your hands toward the heart center. Left hand represent the moon consciousness, right represent the sun energy. Rub your hands together. And bring your head bow to the thumbs, toward the thumbs or index. And maintain the pose for a few breaths. I appreciate for you that joined the class today, and hopefully see you next time in next class. Have a blessed day and namaste.